because they've been taken care of. The mystery of their existence has been solved and filed away before we've had a chance to be moved by them, or even begun to catch a glimpse of who they might be. We no longer need to listen to them, because they've been neutralized. There's hardly any action quite so undemanding, so utterly unimaginative, as the affixing of a label. It's the costliest of mental shortcuts. Of course, we get to call it like we see it. What else can we do? But when we do so with undue haste, when we're neither remotely inquisitive nor especially curious in our regard for other people, we may find that a casual demonization comes to pepper our conversations. This is why calling someone progressive, conservative, fundamentalist, secular, or extremist is to largely deal in curse words. It puts a person in what we take to be their place, but we're only speaking in shorthand. When I go no further in my consideration of my fellow human beings, I display my preference for caricature over perception, a shrug as opposed to a vision of the lived fact of somebody in a body. In the face of a perhaps beautifully complicated life, I've opted for oversimplification. There's something too smooth in the way certain words can stop a train of thought. And so it goes with the application of that impossibly broad brush called religion. It's as if we can't even speak the word without walking into the minefield of someone else's wounds. Guards go up immediately, and with good reason. It's a reservoir of toxicity, an association to end all associations. Who would want to get caught anywhere near it? In certain contexts, religious tags someone as unsafe. A quick scan of most news cycles tells us why. Ostensibly religious people are often the very folks who refuse to honor other people's boundaries in the thick of a global pandemic. And yet religious, if we aren't careful, can function as one more label we use as a placeholder of persons and populations, as if we've somehow gotten to the bottom of who they are with one adjective. In this book, I want very much to take this attitude aside and punch it lovingly in the stomach. I want to slow the tape and see what's too easily hidden when we think we have people pegged. And if it's the case that mention of religion mostly shuts conversation down, I want to somehow crack it open again. I want to make the most of the word that, like politics and media, is among the most catastrophically unexamined abstractions of our time. If we're open to it, religion need not always signal a dead end. It might even be a means to a breakthrough, a way of fessing up to the facts of what we're all up to, a way of highlighting, instead of obscuring, the sweet, loving, living fact of relationship, the deep-down interrelatedness we call life. Religion as perceived necessity. In its root meaning, religion, from the Latin religare, to bind again, to bind back, is simply a tying together, a question of how we see fit to organize ourselves and our resources, a question of how things have been tied together so far among two or more people, and of how they might be tied together differently, a binding, an unbinding, and a binding again. Because it's never static, religion is always up for grabs. It's dynamic that way. In fact, you can't step in the same religion twice, because religion is a process, or more specifically, religion names a process. Religion names a process. As has always been the case, the organizing of selves and societies can go beautifully or badly or something in between. But the development of bonds, like the dissolution of bonds, is inescapable. I find it most helpful to define religion, then, as follows. Religion is perceived necessity. It is that which a person perceives as needful in their everyday thinking